These aren't the
5 Fact Friday.
5 Fact Friday. I'm Charlie Lambden, and it is 5 Fact Friday. Good morning, everybody. Afternoon, actually, is it? Yeah, it's afternoon already. I'm just at the side of the motorway, charging up on my way for quite a long drive today. And it's 5 Fact Friday, and if you can detect a hint of I don't know what the right word is, sadness in my voice today. I have this overwhelming feeling that do you know something? It feels as though I no longer need to persuade anybody, except for perhaps some journalists. But from all the feedback I'm getting from the front line of the estate agency, the message has got through to people that house prices are falling, are going to fall, the economy's going to get worse, and it feels like we're almost getting to the eye of the storm. But of course, this is unreported at the moment because there's no data to back it up. So trust me, bro. Should we get into the 5 facts, shall we? It's just like a whole year of doing this, and finally people are waking up. I actually, before we get into the fact, I'm going to share with you a story. So last night, I got a private message from an estate agent who, from the beginning, has been saying to me, Charlie, you're right. I agree with you. I'm calling it right. Over a year ago, there's a chap in the north. I don't know him. He just contacted me online. I've never met him, never spoken to him. But he's sort of been messaging me throughout the year, generally supporting me and saying what you're saying is true and it is going to get worse. And the message he sent me last night was, it's getting worse every day. Good properties coming on at good prices are getting no inquiries. And the last 2 words of his message were, it's carnage. Now, you might just think, oh, well, he's another overvaluing agent. This is an agent who, in his patch, is agreeing more sales than any of the other, more than 100 agents listing properties in the same patch. He's got the most agreed sales. That means he's the least overvaluing and the most realistic agent and competent agent getting properties sold. And so if the agent in that patch who's getting more properties sold than any other agent, which means he's realistic on price, is saying there are no inquiries, shit's getting real. Anyway, hi guys. Hi Bakar, GG, Sam, WR, Jon Snow, Paul, GG. No, I'm not eating at Burger King. Hi Catherine. So I've really delayed this, haven't I? So let's get into the first fact. So fact number 1 is an unusual one, actually. So the Negotiator website, which is an estate agency website, estate agency industry website, reported on a story where confused.com, who have a mortgage comparison part on their website, have done an article where they think that house prices may drop 50,000 by the end of next year. Analysis by confused.com reveals average house prices might fall by more than 50k. All of these stories too are linked below in the description of the video. If you're watching them somewhere where I can't put links, then go to my website, mhwc.co.uk. You'll find them there. But yeah, interesting to have an insurance and a mortgage comparison website coming out with that analysis. So that's a fact. And again, for all new followers, the 5 facts, 5 Fact Friday is all about 5 pieces of news that have come to light in the last 7 days that you can check out for yourself and verify for yourself whether or not you think they're true. So that's number 1. Confused.com thinks house prices are going to fall 50k on average next year. Fact number 2. Nationwide house price index for September came out at the beginning of the week, and they talked about growth remaining weak. And I said earlier in the week, why are you calling it growth when it's negative? It's not, growth suggests positive and remained weak suggests still positive, but it was already negative and it's still negative. So their year-on-year figure down 5.3%, but guff buster that I am, I found, here we are, I'll zoom in on it so you can see it. Their average price that they said was unchanged was actually down by nearly £1,500 between August on the right and September on the left. So unchanged was the word that they used, but no, it's still falling. That's a 0.5% fall month on month. That's fact number 2. Fact number 3, Rightmove put out their rental trends tracker. I did a video on this yesterday as well. And the headline there was that rents reach a record high for the 15th consecutive quarter. And I did a video explaining that this is just asking rents. Their figure there is a 12% higher in London, slightly lower than that outside in the rest of the country, but 10% average year-on-year rent increases overall. But the ONS figures are showing 5% year-on-year. So I think there's a bit of classic industry guff in there. I don't think rents are currently still rising at 10% a year. I think they are easing. And in fact, they go on to talk about how there is an increase in stock compared to this time last year, and the demand, although still very high, has started to ease. So that's fact number 3. Fact number 4 was just reported this morning by the Times, who said the roof, so we are Times website, roof falls in on house building as interest rate rises / demand. House building contracted at its worst rate in nearly 15 years, stripping out the pandemic. House building is lowest pace since the credit crunch. It's probably just a blip though, right? House building is at its slowest pace since the credit crunch 2009. If you are someone who's still interpreting that as, oh, well, it's not that bad, I can't help you. I can't help you. House building at its worst since the credit crunch. Oh, Bob, that's a great comment. I'll come back to that in a minute when I've done the last fact. And the last fact, of course, is Halifax house price index for September was also released this morning. And they again have used the word unchanged. Largely unchanged is what they said in some of their, I can't remember exactly where it is, but somewhere in their commentary it says largely unchanged. But the monthly change down 0.4%, quarterly change down 1.8%, and annual change 4.7%, which is a faster drop than last month when the annual change was negative 4.5%. Right, it's all linked to below, but there you go. I'll just zoom in for you there. So year-on-year house price growth has gone from minus 4.5% to minus 4.7%, which means they're falling faster. But it's largely unchanged, guys. The one thing I did think was interesting to actually pull up and look at in this report. This is the PDF, which is what I've got the link to below. You can download it for yourself. So they're saying that the monthly fall in September was not as fast as the monthly fall in August. It's fine. Blah. Now look, this graph here, that line actually goes up. But it's a percentage fall. It's the month, it's percentage, and it's still negative. So don't think that little uptick there means prices have risen month to month, because they haven't. They've still fallen month to month, just not as fast as last month. But let's get down to what I think is interesting, which is, here we are. I'll zoom in a bit more so you can see. But this time last year, okay, and remember in the last year house prices have fallen 4.7% year on year according to Halifax. Don't forget this excludes cash transactions, which are lower than that. So actually house prices have fallen faster than that. And don't forget that this is also a small sample of mortgage transactions in already a very small set of transactions, because transactions overall are down. So it's a tiny sample of a small sample, excluding cash transactions, which will bring prices down more. But a year ago, this is where it's so confusing, and this is where the time lag kills everybody, because if you're selling now and trying to sell your house now and can't, are you wishing you'd put it on the market a year ago? But you didn't put it on a year ago, did you? Because a year ago, what did they say? A year ago, look at that, top right-hand corner. Annual change, 9.3% up. Right? That right-hand corner. So this time last year, yeah, house prices were 9% up year on year. And look how they've come down. They're 9%, 8%, 4%, 2%, 2%, 2%. Do you remember everyone saying in December, January, February when the annual change stopped dropping? Oh, that's it. It's the bottom now. It's going to turn around and go back up. 1.6%, 0.1%. And then finally in May this year, only in May of 2023, 1 year after house prices actually began falling, did Halifax finally report falling house prices year on year. And then it was 2.6%, and then 2.5%. People, oh, again, it's the bottom. No. And then it's 4.5% negative last month and 4.7% negative this month. And it will get worse. Those prices will fall faster. Maybe not next month. Maybe there'll be another blip because it doesn't go straight down, does it? It's but they're well on their way down. And Bob Clements says, just agreed on a property that was initially listed last year for 450k. We've agreed 360k. That's 20% off. Yeah, 20% off the asking price. So, Bob, that's a good deal. But if it's initially listed at that price, yeah, as long as you're buying it for the long term, that's cool. But I would say that one's got further to fall. I don't want to rain on the parade of the fact you've had their offer accepted. But as long as they're buying it and you like it, it's long term, you're not overextending, that's absolutely cool. You know that the silver lining to all of this, guys, is that we are getting close to the time when bargains are there. In fact, there are cash buyers out there already getting a few fringe bargains. Those few sellers that absolutely have to sell now and don't care. They've owned their property for 20, 30, 40 years. They just want out. They're taking cash deals right now. Those are happening already. The problem is we're going through this, what I've called the recalibration. And the recalibration is the market drops away, but the sellers don't realize, and even the agents don't realize. And I'm really feeling for good agents who've been caught out by what bad agents are doing. Because the overwhelming majority of agents who overvalue have got a lot to answer for now. I mean, there are agency companies struggling and failing now, agency suppliers failing now, and we're going into what's going to be a bleak winter for the moving industry itself. Guys, I'm going to just finish up with this. Lots of you are asking for my help. I can't do it just in private messages. If you are in a transaction or want my thoughts on your moving situation, you can book a half an hour or a 1 hour slot with me on the link just there, buymeacoffee.com/MHWC. You can book it with me there. When you do book it, send me a message with the times that you can't do. They normally happen at quite short notice. And I'll see what I can do to help, if I can help at all. So whether you're negotiating or renegotiating or thinking of pulling out and you just can't get clarity on your thinking, those are the situations that I can help with. So I must hit the road. Got to keep going, keep on trucking. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye, guys. Just checking the comments here. One last thing for anyone thinking of buying a new home. Bargains to be had. Don't take incentives. Don't take cash back. Don't take a free car. Ask for the money off the price. You do not want to be borrowing, okay, at an inflated price. Just say, you're offering the 40 grand car, just take 40 grand off the price. They're offering you 18 grand cash back, say no, take 18 grand off the price, please. So yeah, the only upgrades that are worth having is if they're offering you upgraded kitchen, upgraded fittings inside, that kind of stuff. Those have a real value. All the other gimmicks don't. Just say no, take it off the price. All right, guys, have a good one. See you soon. Bye-bye. I'm not having a Burger King. Just happened to be outside one. I'm not having a Burger King. I'm having a Greg's. Thanks, guys.